Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone, to Project Positive Planet. Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Steph.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Ready to
Good.
travel dream.
Me too. Welcome, Brian. Welcome, Vanessa.
Morning.
Where are you joining us from?
We are in Belize, in Placencia.
Please, exciting. So this is Keep Travel Dreaming, Episode 7, Authenticity and Trust, the New Currency, question mark. This is Project Positive Planet, which is a collaboration with Well World TV, We Consulting, and Papilia. Oh, sorry, one more slide. Joining us is Brian Montgomery, owner and general manager of Syrian Bay Resort and Villas, and your host, me, Stephanie Rest, and Sophia Hyder Hock. Hi, guys. I'm really excited for this topic today, and I can't think of a more authentic place than Belize. It is just screams authenticity. How have you guys been doing in Belize?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We actually had our first weekend. We were able to open back up and to local Belize, and we had a full house, 60 plus people, full house. It was very exciting. Very exciting.
Very exciting to see that Belizeans are getting out, and you guys are COVID free, right?
We are. We've been COVID free for over 30 days now in Belize, so very proud of that.
That's
beautiful. Congratulations. Well, we are going to talk a lot about Belize today, but we're going to start off with some information. Sophia was talking to me a few months back about a conference she went to in Morocco called Matter, right, Sophia?
That's right.
And Matter is for travel professionals. And Sophia gave this presentation there.
So Stephanie and I we like to brainstorm our ideas for travel dreaming because in the place that we are in right now, we're travel dreaming quite a bit. I was in Morocco last year in September and just talking to her about the experiences that I had in Morocco, the food, the people, the culture, and particularly I was there giving a presentation. Actually, it wasn't even a presentation. It was more of a workshop for it at Matter, which is sponsored by Pure Life Experiences. And the workshop was about how to develop authentic partnerships across cultures, across boundaries. And as Stephanie and I, we were talking about it, we were talking about the authenticity, the importance of authenticity, the importance of authenticity and travel, especially in experiencing what we're going through right now. And so we both thought that it would be just a good reminder to talk about authenticity, about trust, how to reestablish these types of connections that we all want to have moving forward. So I always like to bring, whenever I do my workshops about travel, authenticity, culture, connection, I always love to bring up what you see here, the iceberg effect. And what makes, in my opinion, what makes travel so fun is being able to experience, different cultures and places and just feeling free. But to get to a more authentic level, this graph to me explains that. So, when we go places and we meet people, we typically see their facial expressions. We hear the language that they speak. We taste the food that they eat. We see the clothing they wear, and we listen to music, particularly from from that place. But to actually have that deeper experience is really important to understand the values that culture has. The expectations from a friendship, to really understand the invisible, the things that we can't see, which is typically 90% that's difficult to see. So how do we experience a place authentically? Next slide, Steph. So I always like to have this exercise that I present called People, Place, and Purpose. And it's a little bit of a reflection about who you are, and exploring a little more about yourself. So I always ask for the first question, asking yourself, am I surrounding myself with the right people? And who are they? And so taking some time to just think about the people that influence you, the people that you would like to be perhaps influenced by. And then thinking about that from the travel perspective. What kind of vibe of people do you want to be exposed to? Let it all sink in for just a bit. Okay. And the second question, Steph, or place. Am I happy with my surroundings? And what are they? And surroundings can be the physical surrounding. It could be your mental surroundings. It could be a dream place that you want to be near. So, for me personally, my surroundings, I love peaceful beach surroundings. So I'm excited to talk about Belize today because I love the Zen feeling of being near a beach. I love warm temperatures. So just thinking about all of the elements that make you happy. And the third question is always the big one. Am I satisfied with the purpose and personal mission I have set for myself? That's the biggie. And that can take on a whole other webinar in itself. But really thinking about your purpose and thinking about what you get excited about and thinking about that in the context of travel. I miss travel quite a bit. And this is why I get excited about our travel dreaming webinars, because we're able to talk with other people from different countries, different perspectives, and we get to really authentically connect in a way that we may not have been able to do before. And it's just really important, I feel like, to think about that purpose. And so as we begin to travel once again, or travel dream, it's really important to self-reflect and ask yourself these questions. So when you're ready to get out there again, you have a deeper connection with yourself and hopefully being able to having that greater awareness to connect with people that you meet in whatever places that you dream to travel to.
Mm.
And so I encourage you to think about a time when you created a meaningful connection and think about what made that connection unique. And the flip side of that is, thinking about an awkward situation when you didn't quite connect the way you expected to connect. And what made that connection so awkward? I know we've all had them. We're all human. So thinking about the interactions that you've had and reflecting a bit about why they were the way they were. Was it maybe perhaps a cultural nuance that you may not have picked up upon? Was it perhaps taking a little time to get to know the person as opposed to rushing to maybe make a business deal? Just thinking a little bit about that as you move forward and thinking about how you want the kind of connection you'd like to create meaningful relationships, bonds, and business partnerships. And lastly, think about what's holding you back from being able to authentically connect. And it's something that you can ask yourself now and let it sit and come back to it. We're all here. We all want to travel. We are all watching, this webinar because we want to create meaningful connections. So the first place to start with is ourselves. And it's really important to be honest about yourself and who you are.
That was excellent, Sophia.
I could spend all day doing that, but that's what's with it.
It's very basic information, but it's a beautiful process. And I think why we travel is all about connection, because today all I'm going to do is share amazing stories about experiences, but also people that I connected with through Belize along the way that keep me coming back to Belize, because we could just be those people that just check things off our bucket list, like, oh, made it to Belize, oh, made it to Guatemala. But you return to a place because of those personal connections. And that's why I think we're really lucky to have Brian and Vanessa today, because they have this ability to get guests to return to Syrian Bay. So they must have some connectivity and connection happening over there, huh?
Right.
Is that happening, Brian?
I hope so, yeah. Our vision is to have our mission statement here is to have returning guests from the moment we meet them. So
Awesome.
We're working on the returning guests from the moment Vanessa or Toby contacts them, and all the way to they enter our gates to the moment they leave. We're already working on the return back. So
beautiful. So I'm going to share a video so people can visualize your beautiful property, and then we're going to start talking about it. It's one that I didn't know about because you weren't marketing. You just opened, I guess, the resort part this December. So I'm excited to visit when I return to Belize, hopefully very soon.
hopefully.
So on just a second. Beautiful. My goodness.
I get chills every time I see it.
I'm so proud.
I know, and you're there.
I'm ready.
We get to see it every day, but every time I watch that video, I get chill bumps. I'm like, yeah, very, very proud of what we've accomplished here in a short period of time.
Amazing. So Brian, you have an incredible story. So tell us a little bit. You don't sound like you're from Belize, so I'm thinking that you're not a native. So tell us about what led you to Belize and how you became a hotelier.
Well, I grew up in Mississippi, South Mississippi, and became a Texan. Married my childhood sweetheart. Now we are 34 years this next month. And moved to Texas because of my job, and had two great boys, which now are out on their own. Well, my youngest is going to college at A&M for hospitality. So he has a great desire to be part of the resort down here eventually. Once he goes out and earns his own right first before he comes here. He has to go work somewhere else for 4 to 5 years before he's allowed to come here. So anyway, so I had cancer 16 years ago, late stage 4, diagnosed, given 6 months to live. That changed my wife and I's outlook on life. And after laying there and saying, what are you going to do when you get out of here? We took the Kokomos home. Aruba, Jamaica as our theme song. And we committed because we'd never traveled before because we were workaholics. So we went to Aruba first. We went to Jamaica first, my wife and I. And then we went to Aruba with our boys and kind of made a decision that we want to have a retirement home someday. And the reason I'm sitting here is because of Vanessa, actually. I met her at an international living conference in Vegas, and we learned all about Belize, and she talked us into coming to Belize to check it out. And we came to Belize, and we didn't go to another country. We stopped there. We fell in love immediately. And we knew we could never beat it. So we bought some property. We built our retirement home, which was the main home you see in there, which is one of our largest 6,000 square feet houses that sleeps 14 people. Went to retire, and then I could give a long story, but we'll keep it short. At the end of the day, we started buying additional property, and within the house was open for about 2 years, and then the property came along, and we now own over 15 acres from lagoon to beach, and we built the resort all in the last 18 months. So we went from one home to now being able to sleep up to 70 people at a resort. So yeah, so I think the outlook changed the way my wife and I looked at life. Life's too short, and we came here and loved it. And our family goal was to build a place where people, our friends and family, could come and enjoy. And I didn't know I had so many friends when we first built our house. I had friends that I didn't know was friends.
Right?
So,
yeah.
But it worked out great because we got to meet a lot of new people. A lot of people that we had known as acquaintances became better friends by coming to Belize and spending time with us. So anyway, just left another. Now we have the resort, and retirement is out the window. My definition of retirement, I guess, is different than I think. Retirement's me getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and Brenda and I both work until 6 or 7 o'clock at night now. But working with some amazing people.
Cut down on your stress, and I think being a hotelier has to be one of the most stressful careers.
You know what? I'd like to say that. I haven't experienced that part yet because our guests have been great. This weekend, my energy is high because of this weekend was incredible. The guests, listening to the guests go, we did not know we had this here in our own country. You know, I think I heard that comment 10 times where they said, we had no idea this was here within our own country. Why do we need to go to other countries when we have this right here in our own country? And that just melted our hearts. It really did. I was out there leading the aerobics in the pool with the guests, and I think people like Trinity and everybody going, who's that guy out there? And they go, that's our owner. That's your owner out there doing the aerobics with the guests? But that's who we are.
That's amazing.
And I'm out there doing what I'm helping maintenance. I mean, life's way too short to not enjoy yourself, and that's the way we lead people.
And Vanessa, you're like the salesperson of the century, convincing people to move and build resorts. And
Ryan just has it in him. He knew what he wanted and he got it done. And not anybody can say that. And working with him has just been absolutely amazing. Just, we stay above the line. And that's what he puts in his staff, and he puts with everybody coming to work. You want to come here. You don't even feel like you're working with him.
I didn't have to pay her to say that.
She knows that Christmas bonus is coming at the end of the year. Ryan, so tell us a little bit about your future plans and your other endeavors. Well, first I want to kind of explain to people, because we did a poll, and about 20% of people have been to Belize, 40% of people not yet, and then 40% of people, it's on their list. So either way, they're coming to see you. I didn't put a no option in there, if you noticed. But I want to explain a little bit about where you are, because generally what would happen, right, is people would leave wherever they're coming from, fly into Belize City, and then you have a couple of options to either perhaps take a bus to Placentia, which is, I've driven it by myself, FYI. But
that's an adventure.
It was an adventure because I was in a little, island car, and they didn't tell me about Belizean speed bumps, which are giant pieces of rope that aren't marked, and you're on a straight road and they just pop out of nowhere. I mean, there's only 2 turns, so you can't really get lost. But that was the shock of a lifetime, because I think I was airborne for like at least 2 minutes.
Well, I tell guests it's part of the experience. It's our Belizean roller coaster. So
Yeah.
it's a Belizean roller coaster. So
It was crazy. But you could either drive or do you all carpool?
we do. We have
Or
actually two
take a
options for our
flight,
guests.
right?
And we have two
2
options for
hours.
our guests. We have a private van. We pick you up at the airport and drive you. I personally recommend a lot of times somebody try to drive one way and fly the other because it gives you the drive is an experience. It is, almost a 3-hour drive. They're working on some roads that potentially in the next year or so, it'll cut off almost an hour of the drive through a road they're building, which will be the coastal road. That'll be much better. It's a 45-minute to an hour less drive, which will be great. But I tell people, drive the experience. Our guides that drive you know the country very well. They're all licensed tour guides, and they can tell you about the country as you go through. You hear about the history of Belize as you drive. So, and honestly, it's a 3-hour drive, but it doesn't feel that way because you're getting entertained the whole time you're coming. The other option is flights. It's about a 25-minute flight on a small private plane with the Tropic of Maya Airlines. That's a very pretty flight as well because you're flying over the ocean the whole time, flying the small airplanes, and experience. So either way to get
And I
here.
love that. I always ask to ride co-pilot so you can actually feel like you're
that's
awesome.
awesome.
Oh, I think you all froze. Sophia, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think Brian just maybe froze. Perhaps it's their internet. So Sophia, have you been to Belize?
No, I was planning a trip to Belize, and then I needed to figure out how to family-friendly options because I have a toddler. So it's funny that you say that because I actually heard about the speed bumps ahead of time, and I wasn't sure how he was going to take to that as a little.
Hello? Okay, so now I am just in the room. Hopefully they will jump back in. Can you all hear me in the chat? Laura, I know you're there. I just want to make sure we're live. If anybody's listening, if you'll pop in the chat. Okay, thanks so much. So I'm gonna, while we wait for them to jump back on, I'm gonna play my video of Belize. Thank you all for being here and being patient with us. Okay, you're back. Hello, Brian?
Yeah, let me get back on video.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Yeah, we're back.
Okay. So you all froze, and I had a little bit of a panic moment. I was live by myself. Sophia jumped out too, and I was like, "Oh God, can you all still hear me?"
Welcome to Belize.
Yeah.
Being in a country, Belize is not considered a third world country because we do have fast internet and we do have a lot of services. But we also have issues from time to time with losing our connection from time to time. But anyway.
Well, that's anywhere in the world right now. Everybody is home and using their internet services. And I think we're all struggling with that from time to time. Hi, Sophia.
Hi.
Hey. Okay. So you were going to speak, Brian, about your other adventures that you're having in Belize.
So when after, like I said, we built a resort from a guest perspective. And the one thing I kind of had my attention on when I first started having guests was I wanted to be able to, and it's the wrong word, I don't have a better word, control their experience. I wanted to be able to ensure that the guests, no matter where they were, had a good experience within Belize, right? I didn't want them going to another tour company and having an old van or an old taxi, whatever, and break down. So I looked at a tour, how to handle the tours as well. Very fortunate, I had a good relationship with a guy who owned Captain Jack's here. I purchased Captain Jack's, it's been 2 years now, which does all the tours, golf cart rentals. We do land tours, water tours, golf cart rentals, and small accommodations in the village as well. So that kind of completed our being able to handle tours and stuff. We've added the mini golf, as you saw at the end of that video. I built it's an 18-hole professional mini golf course. We'll be hosting, we're the only international course on the U.S. Mini Golf Pro Association Tour.
Wow.
So I know a lot of people here are probably going, wow, is there really a pro association tour? Yes, there is. There is a national U.S. Mini Golf Pro Association in the United States, and they have many, many courses around the United States, and we are the only course certified on that tour. So we hope to be hosting a professional tournament. We're targeting February, but unfortunately with the COVID thing hit, that may get delayed, unfortunately. So we have the course here.
Who would participate in that?
So the professionals would come down, and typically they spend about a week here. And it's just like the PPA. You would have a chance to play with a professional as a pro-am. So you'd spend a day playing with one of the professional tournament players. And then on their tournament dates would be 3 days, and you watch them play. You learn hits from them. We have special events, special food events like going around the tournament. So it's just like PGA watching a professional play. And, you know, when you score a 50 on our course and you see that they're scoring 30 in the mid-30s, you kind of figure out you're not good as you thought you were, you know. So we hope to do that. We're adding additional buildings long-term. Right now we're adding a sunset martini bar, which allow us to view out of the lagoon, the sunset in the evening. We're building a conference room, kind of up to 40 people in the conference room. We're building a gym and 2 new executive offices. And I just announced to you guys earlier, we're going to be building a med spa here as well, a little over 2,000 square foot med spa, which would be one of very few in Belize doing the services that we're looking at doing. To be able to offer full wellness trips here. So we're excited about that. And we're targeting 12 to 18 months completion for that. I hope sooner, but at least within the 18 months, we hope to have that. We've also, a big announcement we just did, we just purchased an island. We purchased a 5-acre island that we're going to use for our guests to experience a day on the island, or even a night on the island eventually, where you can go out for the day and snorkel around the island, ride kayaks around the island, and lay out on the beach in the middle of the Caribbean. Nice island. So we hope that can complete it as well within the next 12 to 18 months time frame. It's hard to
please before I come, Brian. Please before I come.
Well, you know what? I can get you to an island when you come, no matter what. It may not be our island at the time, but we'll get you out there, because you can't come to Belize without going snorkeling or diving. That's what Belize is known for, with the Barrier Reef. And if you haven't come, you need to come only for that reason. The water is immaculate. The diving is incredible. The snorkeling is awesome. You get a chance to swim with stingrays and sharks, and it's just an awesome experience. So
I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. Vanessa, we have a question. How would travel advisors book this property? Are you listed with any tour operators?
Well, we have Weston's very new. She's been with us 2 weeks now, so.
Okay, sorry.
She's learning our system. So the best way to book us is direct, actually. You know, that's where we run the most promotions. We have our own websites, reinvigorating.com. We run specials constantly on there. We have our newsletters, and we're always doing promotions through that. But yes, we're connected with Expedia, Travelocity, and all those as well. Airbnb, so you can book us on other sites as well. Our preference is to go direct to get the best deals out of the way. But yeah, we can connect us about any time. Anyway.
But for travel agents, can you do you provide commissionable?
We do
bookings?
that. Absolutely.
Okay, that's the question. So they would reach out to you directly?
Yes, absolutely. Any travel agent work directly with, we do deals with them directly. Okay.
And we'll share Brian's email before this call is over, because we have quite a few agents on the call.
Great. Our specialty here, just kind of one last thing, we like couple travel and family travel, but we're really, because we're a boutique resort, our weddings, family reunions, corporate events, those kind of our specialties. We're total resort takeovers, because the size where we can sleep and the closeness of our rooms, it gives a chance for people to come really get to know each other. As being boutique, enough distance between everything, but yet close enough that you get to meet new friends. And my goal was to come here and meet new friends, meet your new lifelong friends. That's kind of what we want to accomplish here. So
all about that connection, and then they'll return and vacation at the same time every year.
That's absolutely our plan. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I can connect groups that didn't know each other before they came to Serenity Bay and they come back next year together as a group, that's a great accomplishment in my opinion.
I've met some of my best friends through traveling, so I love that idea. Very smart. Well, since we're talking about Belize today, I created a little video just of my experience. So I first went to Belize in, I want to say 2017, and did some work with Banyan Bay. That is going to be a Marriott autograph property. They're actually under construction right now. They have 250 people building. Much different concept than Brian's. Brian's is very boutique-y and lovely, where Alaya will have a couple hundred rooms. And it'll be in San Pedro, which is in a different part of Belize. So Placentia is south of Belize City, and San Pedro, I want to say, is east, right, of Belize City?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just call me out on anything if I get it wrong. I've only been a few times. So I'm going to share this video, and then we're just going to talk about a little bit about all of the magic that Belize has to offer. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. Country Hall.
Then the great spirit came down and said, let there be. And there was. That's how it all began. Yeah. To push my conscience aside. Every shape, every color, every pigment, every sound and every vibration. This whole earth, the solar system, everything you hold so sacred. By the hands of love, it was created, and I know love lifted me, and I know Jaja, yeah, set me free. Love break the chains, yeah, set the captives free. Love break the chains, set the captives free. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So if there was nothing, whose voice it was that said, let there be light? Who separated the day from the night? Created me, created you. I believe it was love. Oh yes. Still we want to know, where did the universe come from? Everything in existence, all your temples, your mosques and your churches, all the saints and the gods that you worship, the holiest of writings, the thunder and the lightning, everything you hold so sacred. By the hands of love, it was created, so I know love, yeah, 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 lifted me, and I know Jaja, yeah, Jaja, set me free. Love breaks the chains, love breaks the chains, set the captives free. Love breaks the chains, yeah, yeah, set the captives free. Call it what you may, L-O-V, can be found in you, and it's all over me. Jah is love, no matter the name, it's one and the same. Dance.
think you're on mute, Steph.
Oops.
No.
So I think Brian's internet might have cut out again, but a few experiences from Belize. Does it make you want to go?
It does. The food, the the beach, everything, the spa. I'm really excited. Like I really want to take Liam there now.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Liam would thrive. The food, Belizean breakfast is hands down the best breakfast I've ever had in the whole world. I don't know what the bread's called, but it comes with this beautiful pastry bread, eggs, but then you also get like the black beans and the different kind of fruits, smoothies. They do a beautiful job with breakfast. What was most interesting and why I put the music in, because I really didn't know that much about Belize before I went there. I didn't know what the culture would be like or the demographics. It's so varied. Primary language is English, which a lot of people don't know. And also, you know, the ethnicities are so different. I mean, they're all Belizean, but you have Guatemalans, you have just this blending expats that have moved over the years, English, because I think at one point they were English territory. So just a real variety. And then I ended up at a late night place one night, and this guy was singing country music, like old school,
Wow.
George Jones, Waylon Jennings. And I was like, what is happening here? And they were like, you don't know this? Belizeans love country music. And I was like, get out of here. Country music. And then there was the guy, they call him Coconut Leo, if you ever go to San Pedro, which is. And in San Pedro, Coconut Leo is just a local legend. He climbs trees and gets coconuts, I guess, during the day. And then at night, he sings reggae.
So I think I loved your video because I felt like, I mean, it was 3 minutes of all these fantastic experiences, and that music just, I want to go. It triggers that emotional response.
That is Chronics, by the way, the background song, if anybody was interested.
I think we have Brian back on again.
Oh, great.
There he is.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. It happens.
No problem. And then we were talking a little bit, and Vanessa, you're Belizean, you can weigh into this. I was so shocked the first time I went to Belize because I didn't know what to expect with ethnicities and culture. And it's also different, and everybody's Belizean. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I just thought that would be very interesting.
Just cut out a very large part.
Yeah, what was your question there?
Oh, just the cultural makeup of Belize, that everybody's so different and there's all different backgrounds and ethnicities. They all just blend together and they're like, we're all Belizean.
Yeah.
You don't see that in a lot of Caribbean countries or places. It's just.
Yeah, for sure. Here in Belize, you have like the Mennonite community, you have the Creoles, you have the Spanish, you have the Garifunas. You know, I'm mixed with Creole and Spanish. So I speak Spanish very, very fluently. And everybody is just one. You have the Mayans down south that are real core with their culture. And we're here in Placencia, and this is where everybody comes to work. So we're all one, and we share each other culture and their food. And today I'm eating, you know, Sarah, which is a Garifuna dish, and we love it. And tomorrow we're gonna eat tacos and stuff like that.
It's like a never-ending array of experiences and cultures that you can have in Belize. That's why I think it's fascinating. The Garanufa you're speaking of, they were the people dancing at the end of the video around the fire. And Trinity arranged that for a familiarization trip that we put on, and it was an incredible experience. And where did they come from? Do you know, Vanessa? Like, what are their origins?
They came from St. Lucia. That some of them traveled from there on their boats. So you have on Garifuna Day, they have their when they came in back in the days of their little canoes, and they do all these stuff, and Scarfinade and Dangriga, like what do you call it? Like the orientation, they set it all up like while they were coming back in the days. So that's pretty awesome. You get up at 6 o'clock and you see them come in for their day.
The reenactment.
Yeah, the reenactment of when they came in. And so that's very special for us. And we have a holiday for that day for them.
Very cool. And then
we bring the drummers here on site when we have guests. We do a drummer night. We've had them come in and perform at the restaurant across the street and here on the beach. And guests just love that because it's a local.
Do the dance. The kids get involved. They have the down canoe dance that they do, and they involve their kids with the dances. The children. So and the teachers, their elders are the drummers. So it's really cool to see how the kids stay with their culture and their dances and their clothes.
Love it. And talk to me, because Sophia and I was trying to explain a typical Belizean breakfast to Sophia, but I don't know if I was getting it exactly right. I just know I miss it incredibly.
Yeah.
Can you tell me again? I can't think of what the pastry is that they put with that, but
We're talking about fried jacks, man. That's the thing. Fried jacks. Yep. You know, you can the good Belizean, they would do the flour tortilla dough, and it's gonna be the same fried jack dough.
right.
So it's all about you blowing it up with the oil, and it pops, and it's this so melt in your mouth kind of food. So that's definitely something that every Belizean does every morning.
And the eggs and the beans. I mean, it's like I could eat that every single morning and just.
And the coconut oil is very important. That's the key.
Yes. Okay. Now I know. We'll have to do a different webinar where you teach us all this so I can.
for sure.
We've done a reverse here at Inky's at our restaurant across the street. We brought some American food to Belizeans. We taught them, we're cooking the Frito pie and hot dogs,
Tomato sauce.
tomato gravy, you know, the stuff that we had in the South, we're bringing here. And they're teaching us their way of cooking. We're teaching them some of our way of cooking. So it's amazing to watch what people, what is this called again? You know, what is this called again? You know, so it's fun to share our types and food we share. So
Very cool. And then I know the Blue Hole is always a must-do experience for Belizeans. But there's also, you saw me ziplining in there, and our tour guide was hysterical. He was taking videos with my phone. You probably know him. I think his name's Victor. And he's taking video with my phone the whole time. And then on the last line, he comes up and he goes, "Gosh, I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry. Your phone is gone." And so Trinity is videoing me for my response when he does this. And I go, "Okay, Victor," I go, it's okay. We're not going to worry about it. That's why I have insurance. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. And this went on for a couple of minutes. And then finally he's like, "I'm just kidding with you." And he like pulls the phone out.
Yeah, I got the trick pulled on me too, Stephanie, so don't worry.
Okay. Must be a first timer thing. Initiation into ziplining in Belize. But there's so many cool experiences. So talk to us a little bit about like all the different excursions that you can take in Belize.
You know, since we have, Captain Jack's, we're able to add those excursions to our guests particularly, but to any other guests. I have a couple of my favorites. I love Monkey River. I don't know if you had a chance to go to Monkey River, but Monkey River is one of my favorites. You actually go out into the Caribbean for a little bit and go down with the longest river in Belize, Monkey River, visit the authentic village and eat lunch there. And go back and hear the holler monkeys, and you get to see all species of birds and some crocodiles. And I mean, it's really cool. And the guides are so, it's their home, and they share in their home. And that's an awesome tour. My second favorite is Silk Key, where you go out and you snorkel with the stingrays and the sharks and the turtles, and then you get to snorkel around a couple of different Key or a couple of islands out there. That's my favorite. Blue Hole from Placencia is quite a ways. We do dive trips out there from Captain Jack's, but they're full days. You're leaving 3 o'clock in the morning. Blue Hole. So it's for Placencia, Blue Hole is just a long way. There's a lot of stuff to do from Placencia. The Maya ruins. Manchidage is really cool. That's one of the largest ruins here in Belize. There's some smaller ruins closer in. There's a small Blue Hole version of a Blue Hole. It's about less than an hour away. The zip line as you went to is incredible. and that's a close end to Placencia as well. Waterfalls. If you love waterfalls, there's beautiful waterfalls. In fact, a group of us just went to Davis Falls here a weekend ago. Beautiful, beautiful waterfall. It's a long hike. It's about an hour hike, but it's very breathtaking when you get there. So, and the lagoon itself, just doing sunset sails in the lagoon. People think it's all about the beach and the ocean. It's not. Here at Placencia, the lagoon can be just as beautiful as the ocean.
And kayaking around the lagoon is one of my favorite things to do.
Watch, that's another one.
Yeah, Manatee Watch is great. In fact, last night we were with some friends, and there's 3 or 4 manatees out in the lagoon we were watching play last night. But yeah, you got the lagoon on one side and the ocean on the other. So you have a morning and evening. It's great down here. So.
Great.
So for new people coming, Brian, new visitors to Belize and Vanessa, what kind of experience, how would you help them prepare for your trip, for their trip to Belize?
Mm-hmm. So once they contact us, and Toby or Vanessa is the first contact, starts building that relationship. How do you want to get here? What do you want to see? What's your experience level? What's your experience in Belize? Trying to gather that pre-trip information on what's really to make their trip the most memorable. What are they looking forward to, right? Mm-hmm. So getting their expectations. Our goal is to exceed their expectations, but if we don't know their expectations, we can't exceed them, right?
Right.
So by learning from them weeks and months prior to their trip, what exactly they're wanting to do. What's their adventure level? Because we have a lot of guests that just want to come and sit on the beach and do nothing all week. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. You can come here and sit on, we have a beautiful beach, just sit on the beach all day long or sit by the pool, or a pool that's just on the video. It's very relaxing with the waterfalls running, a lot of water spouts for the kids to play in. Some people come and never want to leave the resort, and that's perfectly fine too. Mm-hmm. We'd like you to get out in the community though. We want you to go see Barefoot and Tipsy Tuna. And,
I was just going to say, downtown Placencia is really cool. So you saw that at the end of the video with the signs going to Tipsy Tuna and the beautiful artwork. I love it down there.
One thing that Placencia, about that sidewalk, we're #1 in the Guinness Book of Records for the smallest street in the world.
Oh, I didn't know that. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You can't get it all done in one trip. When you come, there's no way you can experience Placencia in one trip. You just can't do it. It's going to take you a few trips, and then even you want to come back and redo some of the stuff. So.
And then on the other side of the island, so what's cool is I don't even know geographically everyone in the world knows that Belize is actually connected to Guatemala. So on the other side of the island, you have all of this beautiful jungle, and there was a video of Shaw Creek, which is a completely different property than your property. They are in the jungle. There's a creek that runs through. They have these gorgeous villas, but then they also have affordable housing where they have tents where you can go and stay for like $50 a night. They have organic farms. I think Mick has been there like 50 some years building this. What's that?
Yeah, he's been there a long time.
Okay. And he's, driving around with his Labradoodle on his golf cart and checking out the farmers. They make all their own furniture. They use the vegetables in the restaurants for food. So it's I thought it was just a really unique, special little property. He's much like yourself, came to Belize and started this project.
I think the ideal vacation for Belize, really, if you can come, even 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks, and split your time up. Come and stay in one of the jungle places. We've stayed in several of the jungle resorts, and it's just an incredible experience to be in the middle of the rainforest, in a hut. I mean, it's just an awesome experience. So come and split the time up, whether it be.
Yeah. Total different experience. Yeah. What clients would do is you do the jungle package first because it's more hot. You get to do like ruins, horseback riding. You get to do activities that you don't get here. So bicycle, you have the hills and all that. We're flat, we have beach. So definitely you do all that hardcore stuff there. Then you put your foot in the sand when you come to Placencia. And then you do all the good stuff on the beach, and then you go home. So doing the jungle first and putting the beach for last is your ultimate package deal there.
Absolutely.
Very good. And the shorter gentleman that you saw at the end of my video is Jet. and Jet has one of the top best airport bars in the world. So as early as we're going to have to get to the airport now, when you're leaving Belize, you want to spend at least an hour with Jet.
Cannot miss Jet. You cannot miss him.
Can't miss him, and he's a super sweet guy, and he loves to take a photo. So feel free to ask him for a photo. And if you have a business or a sticker you want to promote, all the walls in there are covered with stickers from around the world, and it's a really cool place. Worth going to Belize alone just to meet Jet. He's a living legend.
Definitely, yeah.
So anything else you all would like to share or questions you may have?
I do want to say, I mentioned earlier about, going to give my contact. Any agents that would like to talk about stuff, the best way to get us is info@serenianbay.com.
Oh, okay.
That way that guarantees the fastest response, because that goes to all our marketing team simultaneously. So it depends on who may be on call at the time, who may be available at the time. So if you send to info@serenianbay.com, that'll ensure the most expedient response. So, and I see those as well.
Okay. Sophia, you can still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, Maureen wants to come in.
I don't see that anymore.
Question. Okay. Maureen, if you're on, did you have a question? Are they on LinkedIn or Facebook? I know they are on Facebook and Instagram. If you go, Holly's asking if you are on LinkedIn or Facebook.
We are. We have Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. We're trying to be well connected.
You're everywhere. And just explain to everybody a little bit too. I'm going to make sure they understood that 3 years ago you built the houses and now you've just launched as a full resort. So explain the other component outside of the houses, the bungalows.
Okay, so the houses were all like fully equipped kitchens and multi-family living. The bungalows are same property as it's on the video. They're on the same property. The bungalows doesn't have kitchens. We have kitchenettes in there. So we have the coffee makers and the refrigerators and to go in there. We can do special requests for toasters if you need that kind of stuff. But the bungalows are very highly decorated, very comfortable. And out of there's 12 different rooms, 7 buildings, all different. There's no two of them alike. They're all decorated with different local woods, local decorations. The wood in them is just phenomenal. Very personalized. Each bungalow is very personalized. And this weekend, it was funny to hear the guests go, "That's my one. That's the one I want to stay in every time I come." And I go, "Yeah, but we have one over here with an upstairs pool." "Oh my God, you have an upstairs pool?" "Yes." "Oh my God, I want to stay there." "Well, we have one with an outdoor shower." "Oh no, I want to stay there." So, it's fun to share with guests the different. We all have outdoor showers. Almost every one of them except for one has an outdoor shower, which is a cool experience. We have some with live walls of plants growing with misters coming down the side. Some with true gardens inside. Some with where everything has TVs. We all have smart TVs. So we have the beach with all the touch of technology of home. We have Alexas. All the rooms have Amazon Alexas in them for your music. All the TVs are smart. Netflix, local channels. Very techy, but yet walk out the window and there's a Caribbean Sea right in front of you. So
I love it. Must have been fun to design that, with each one being different.
Well, my wife and I, as I mentioned earlier, we've been married over 30 years, 34 years come June.
Wow.
Right opposites, which has made us a success. I'm the visionary. I looked on the property and said, "Brenda, can you just imagine? Look at the people sitting around the pool." She goes, "What freaking pool? That's only trees." I said, No, there's a pool there. Look at the pool. And but I'm the visionary and build it, but she's the one for the detail. She's the one, she has the eye for detail. And nothing gets by her. She can see the wrong color paint, a mile away, but that's not going to work. Redo it, right? So she's responsible for the detail we have, and the detail here is immaculate. It's very immaculate.
Love it.
Perfect partnership.
Yep, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And he does aerobics, and he leads aerobics. I mean, what can't you do?
Well, we've been started working in our quarantine. We actually did employee workouts. There was nothing to do, so we did that. And then I don't know, just kind of, it's like the thing to do. I like being around the people. And what's funny is the first night, a lot of our guests were only staying one night, and then they all extended. So everybody extended past their normal registered stay. Didn't want to leave. And we didn't plan on doing the aerobics the second night. The second day. And I was at the bar, and this little girl comes up. And mom goes, my daughter wants to ask you a question. I go, yeah. She goes, how come we're not doing the workout? I go, oh, what do we? She said, I like the workout. Can we do the workout? I go, oh, well, we hadn't. So she had these sweet blue eyes, and I couldn't resist. And then I found out she was a cancer survivor as well. And she told me she had an optical nerve cancer and told me of her cancer. I go, let me do this. So I called my team up. Come on, team, we're doing a workout. Get your bathing suit on. So we had 4 or 5 of the team members come down to the pool, and we did it again. And we did the workout again, and it was great. And, seeing that little girl smile, dancing and moving and all that was pretty amazing. So that's what makes my day, So people always say, do you like handling the hard problems? We haven't had that issue. We haven't had to deal with hard guest issues yet. So we everybody's been happy. So I'm sure it's going to come someday. You can't make everybody happy. We'll deal with it. But
there's no reason to be not happy when you get here.
Absolutely. You can't not be happy coming to Belize.
Well, I sure hope we can get there soon.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to go.
So aside from wanting your guests to return back, what feeling do you want them to leave with?
Wanting to come back, missing us.
In addition to that.
I think what we've heard the most of is people come here and they come as someone known and they leave as family. And they get connected as if they're part of Serenity Bay family. And we've had guests already just in a short period of time. We have one particular guest that's a 5-time returner, and we've only been open 2 years. And he started in our Manatee house. In fact, he's staying here with his son through the quarantine. He decided to stay in Belize instead of going home. So he's been here almost 3 months already. And he said, this is more family than I have back in the States. And so that feeling people feel, they come in, they join a family when they come here. That's really what we want to see when they leave. Because we're all family. And I tell my staff when I train them, I go, look, you know what, guys, we're family. Sometimes you're not going to like what I say. Sometimes you're not going to like me. Sometimes you're going to hate me. Sometimes you're mad at what I say. But at the end of the day, we're family. And at the end of the day, we come together. So you don't have to like me every day, which I think they do. But you know what, we're family. At the end of the day, we're gonna come together, and we all have the same goal in mind. And our goal is very simple. It's to be what? What's our goal? To be number one in Belize. We want to be the number one resort in Belize. And I think we can get there. And that's not to say, like we mentioned earlier, there's tons of options in Belize.
Yeah, and I was going to say, yeah, what's cool about Belize is for experiences, hotel product, food, people. Everything is so diverse. There's not one in the same of anything.
Well, we are going. This is an announcement. Last thing to know, we're all looking at going all inclusive. Very, very few resorts, really only a couple that try to go all inclusive. We're looking at going all inclusive beginning November 1, and want to be one of the first true all inclusive resorts in Belize. We've got the plan laid out. We hope to announce it in the next few weeks to go all inclusive. And the one exception to the all inclusive, after looking at it, is like dinner. We don't want to include dinner in all inclusive because we want guests to go out and eat at other places. We want them to go experience Barefoot. We want them to go experience Tipsy Tuna. We want them to go to Rick's Cafe. We want them to go to local restaurants. So by not including the dinner, that encourages them. Of course, we offer free transportation out for them to go. We want them to see the village. We don't want them to stay here all the time. So
that's a great thought, and everybody gets a little bit of the love. One property I also wanted to mention that was not in the video, but is a lovely property. It's Hamanasi Dive Resort. It's an eco luxury property, and Dana does an incredible job. She's much like yourself. She treats her staff like family. She does a lot of great initiatives. She's not Papilia. She's a little further.
In Hopkins.
Hopkins. She's a little further, I guess, north. Would that make sense?
About 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah. But been in the business for a very long time. And Sophia and I know her both from a sustainable conference that we went to in January. So just a little shout out for her.
The show everybody here works together is really cool. You mentioned Hamanasi. We do tournaments at our mini golf, and we host the tournament for them on team building employees. So that's how we all work together. They send their employees up here to do a team building event in a league at the mini golf up here we have. So all the resorts work very well together here.
I think so. I spoke at the AGM for BHTA in 2018, I guess, and all of the resort owners were so lovely. And what's cool too, like the Caribbean and Belize, you're getting to meet the owners and the operators like yourself. They're the owners and the GMs, and they're on property and they're hands-on. I think that's what makes a property really work exceptionally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People.
And there's enough. I mean, I do encourage people to come and stay as long as they can and go to 2 or 3 different resorts and areas, because there's so much to see and such a wide variety of experience. And that's what we liked. That's what we loved Belize when we came here, my wife and I, because one is English speaking. So that's biggest. I think the biggest attribute of Belize in general is English is their primary language, even though they speak Spanish, Creole, local language, but most everyone speaks English, and that makes it good for tourists coming here and for us to like to come and have that. So that's a huge plus. And the people are awesome. I mean, the people of Belize are just incredible. The culture here is incredible. So, and there's so much to do, from the rainforest to the mountains to the ocean. Not many countries can offer such a diverse adventure package when you come to Belize.
I mean, just even driving the road and jumping the ropes is an adventure.
Like I said, the Belize roller coaster, right?
Oh, one more story about Belize. So I rented a car, as you know, and I drove to Shaw Creek first, and then Trinity, when she worked at Naya, invited me over to Naya. So I went to Naya, and I never called the rental car company to say, hey, because like in the States, we keep a car, they just charge you, right? I never called them to say I was keeping the car for extra days. And so I went to finally return it and kept extending in Belize. And so I was probably like 3 days late. And so I show up and she's like, girl, you had me so worried. We couldn't find you anywhere. Shocked. Didn't know where you were. So everybody is looking out for you too when you're in Belize. It's very safe. I felt very safe the entire time.
We don't actually, I don't mean to take away from rental car, but we don't actually recommend renting a car typically.
Right.
There's so many options of, most resorts offer the free transfers like we do. Most of them offer that. The golf carts when you're here to explore the southern tip down here in Placencia. You really don't need a rental car. And that's, I think, an advantage of this area when you come to Belize. San Pedro, you definitely don't want a car. You get everywhere with the golf carts. So, this definitely don't need a rental car when you come, because everybody caters to you, and so many ways that you can travel around the whole country.
100%. And I am just a wild girl and need my own car. Well, I thank you guys so much. I think everybody knows how to reach you. And we look forward to seeing you soon in Belize.
Sounds great.
Sounds
All
great.
right. Have a great
Thank you so
Tuesday, everyone. Keep travel dreaming. Bye, Sophia.
Bye. Take care.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Take care.